This is 17-year-old Kaitlyn Coones insisting she's being blamed for something she says she didn't do. Her voice cracks. She's emotional, desperate to be heard. What she doesn't say here is that weeks earlier, she had already confessed.
So I straightened her out and I took her rock and banged her head a whole bunch of times. And then I told him about it and he was shocked.
Two confessions, two completely different stories. And somewhere in a Toledo landfill, Nicole Jones lies buried, never to be found. On May 5, 2023, Detective Sedaris from Canton, Ohio, received a disturbing phone call. A missing 17-year-old girl had sent text messages claiming she and her 33-year-old boyfriend murdered his mother.
Regional dispatch, non-emergency.
Yeah, this is Detective Sedaris from the Canton Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I am investigating a possible kidnapping involving a Jonathan Jones. They were stopped in Arizona by the Border Patrol in a Nicole Jones vehicle. That's Jonathan's mom. The 17-year-old girl that is with Jonathan, who has a nationwide pickup, texted and said that they murdered Jonathan's mother, somebody else, and set a house on fire.
The victim was Nicole Jones, 53 years old, living alone in Sylvania, Ohio. Her son Jonathan had been staying with her despite being on house arrest for crimes involving that same 17-year-old girl. Nicole's brother would call regularly to check on her until April 2023, when those calls went unanswered. Police rushed to Nicole's home at 7456 Timbers Edge Boulevard. What they found would launch an investigation that stretched from Ohio to Mexico. Body camera footage captures the moment investigators first approached the house.
How you doing? That's kind of I read it as I'm coming down here. It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah. Christopher There's
a package on the front porch. It looks like it's been there a week.
Okay.
He knows more about the details of
Okay.
it.
You guys are marshals?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you working with the detective? Is Canton?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a fugitive investigation, but then I guess
The
fugitive's
one lady
girlfriend
said that she killed her
yeah.
in arson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't obviously
So
fit,
I don't know if I
But
think
they're supposedly they took mom's car. The lady that lives here, they're in her car somewhere.
okay.
Supposedly.
Do we know how old she is?
He probably has.
Okay. Do you, you check the doors or anything?
I checked. You can look right in on the patio. It's dark in there. And
Okay. Say if it's unlocked, we're just going to go in.
check that door. I don't know if you tried this one.
No.
I do got my RAM and stuff, but obviously it's your guys'.
You know, I'm gonna of anything see if we got a
key holder or something.
key holder here or the property manager. Usually they have somebody.
That's a good idea.
Hello.
Hi.
Would you happen to be like the property manager?
Well, a property manager doesn't live here. Why would you need?
We were gonna need to try to get into a house here on Timbers Edge, 7456. There's some circumstances where we need to check the interior.
Nobody has a key to anybody else's place.
Even the manager?
No. This one on this corner right
No,
here?
it's definitely 7456.
Yeah.
We got 2 U.S. Marshals there. It involves a case out of Canton. So we're trying to check the safety of her. Has anybody seen her?
No. I've only seen a guy going in and out of there. Okay, so
So would we have anything listed with the manager of people to contact for an emergency?
Well, I have all her phone numbers of people that live there, but it's her phone number.
Okay, but there's nothing listed when she moved in, like in an emergency, contact this person, nothing like that?
No.
So the only way we're going to get in is knocking the door down.
How about the garage?
I think, was there anything about a plate or a car? Yeah, that car's in Douglas, Arizona. Yeah, that would, yeah.
I wonder if they could have did this arson somewhere else. I think so.
How about the garage? Did you guys check the garage?
Yes.
Anything in there?
Might have heard it.
Oh.
Shake plate.
The house was empty. No Nicole, no body, but something felt wrong. On May 8th, Mexican authorities found Jonathan and Kaitlyn in Villa Ahumada. On May 9th, Kaitlyn was transferred to FBI agents at the El Paso border station. Her boyfriend Jonathan was held for an additional 2 days due to marijuana found in the car. Kaitlyn walks into this interrogation thinking she's there to answer questions about being in Mexico. She has no idea they already know about the murder.
So my name is What Family. I'm a special agent here in El Paso with the FBI, and this is my partner Hannah Mazza. And so the reason why we got called in is because we were notified that there was a juvenile that was in Mexico, a U.S. citizen, and that was going to be deported back. So we're here because we just want to talk to you, figure out what happened, how you made it down there, if you were treated okay, because obviously I don't really want to talk about it. I already talked to the police about it. In Mexico? Yes. Okay. They had a translator. So, how much trying to say, like, our concern? I know nothing bad happened. I was just down here for a week or so, and then when I went to go use the bathroom, that's when the Mexican police, pulled me aside and was like, you're going to have to come with us. You don't have a traveling visa. Okay. That's what happened. And besides that, nothing else happened. Like, I've been to a couple Mexican restaurants. I've slept at a couple motels here and there. Like, that's it. Okay. There's nothing, deep, I went on a killing spree. No, it's not what happened. Okay. And I came to Mexico because I was looking for a new beginning. And then, out of nowhere, they started posting stuff. And that's when the Mexican police were also like, why is this showing all this? And I was like, I don't know. They just now started posting stuff like that. Apparently, they're saying the U.S. Marshals want me. They said that the National Center of America wants to talk to me. I talked to my local police, and they said that they were going to be taking me out for missing because I wasn't even supposed to be put in as missing. I was last year. Okay, what happened with that? I just want to know what happened. Well, that's just because I ended up in this. And so we want to make sure that nothing happened. Nothing did happen to me. Nothing at all. The only thing is that the Mexican police, they were tightening the handcuffs on me very tight. Every time I was screaming, it was hurting me. And the one lady, she jumped on me and stuff and was like, shut up, and she kept tightening it. She even I was sitting in the chair over here and they had the handcuffs on the both chairs, and she moved my one that was right here to the other chair, so I was tapping it like this. It was not the center that I was picked up in, but one of their centers. Was there a jail? No, it was a shelter. They said that the reason why is because I needed to stay calm, and I told the person on the phone, USA candidate, or whatever the hell the person was, I was like, they literally just started yelling at me, and I couldn't understand them. And I was like, so I started yelling back at them, and then they started hitting me, pushing me, so I started doing it back, and then that's when they threw me on the ground and put me in handcuffs. Things that we want to know about, right? Is because you're a U.S. citizen, and if you were injured over there, we need to hear these things. Right, okay? So that's all we're here for, That's what we want to talk to you about. So, okay? So thank you for sharing that with us. And in help, we do have a few more questions, okay? So, about that, okay? However, before we get started, I want to make something very clear, okay? That everybody who comes back here in the U.S. and everybody who talks, you have rights, okay? So you are not. I know my rights right now. Okay. If anything, it's what my one friend was telling me is true that the U.S. Marshals want me, then that means I need to go back to Ohio to go to court. Okay. So I know my rights. So, but I'm going to read them, right? Just so that, because you know how you see on TV, everybody gets them, so I just want you to know that I can have them, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm not trying to insult at all. We get some people in here that can't read and write in English language. Can you read and write in English language? Okay. So just so that you can see what I'm reading to you, so you don't think I'm putting words, So this is what's called our SB 395 for rights of rights. And before we ask you any questions, you must understand the rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. Can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now,
Doesn't this only happen if you're under arrest?
No. Everybody deserves to know what rights are, okay?
Right, but aren't these the rights that are told to you whenever you're arrested?
Sometimes, yeah. So, but our procedure is we let everybody know what their rights are, okay? So, if you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. And so, right here is the consent statement, which says that you have read the statement of my rights and I understand what my rights are. At this time, I'm willing to answer any questions without a lawyer present. So this is, once again, this is just me telling you that you have rights. Okay?
So where's the lawyer?
So, well, right now, there's not one, but you're also not charged with a crime. Okay? So I just need for you to sign right there for me.
Investigators now have her version of events, but Jonathan told a completely different story.
Honestly, I just have like a couple more questions for you. I know that you said that you were traveling with someone. Who were you traveling with?
The person, he ended up having to go to jail because they found marijuana in the car, even though Border Patrol let us go with it or whatever.
That's Jonathan, right?
Yeah, Jonathan. And I was with him, and they took him, and then they said because I'm in Mexico, apparently you can't be alone in Mexico if you're a child. And I was like, well, I'm about to be 18, and I'm literally in Ohio, USA. When I was 13, that's when I was allowed to go off my own. So
yeah, well, and then I think also the fact that you didn't have a visa to enter is also what an issue was for them.
right.
Yeah. So, okay, so John, because you keep saying like a person, so I.
Sorry,
No, you are.
You said somebody you looked at as the person.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just trying to understand. And I, of course, don't want to put any words in your mouth, right? Okay, so Jonathan, and I think you mentioned before that's your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you meet him?
I met him before the car accident, and I met him at a store, and that was whenever I broke out of the family program, which was an abusive eating disorder program. And whenever I was at the store, I gave him my number and I left. And then like a few days after that, after living out on the streets, I turned myself in, and I stayed in contact with him ever since. And he's just been a caring person, so I ended up dating him because I'm about to be 18.
Okay.
But we haven't done anything sexual because I already know the rules of that.
Just sounds like he was a friend, right?
Boyfriend.
But he treated you very well. That's what I mean. Like, he treated you very well.
Yeah, he made sure I ate, made sure the cat was eating. Whenever we did get the cat, he always checked up on his mom,
Tell us about the gun that Jonathan had.
The gun. I know the gun that he had or whatever, that might be related to when he got arrested, the police took that. Wood County, I also got arrested. I went to juvenile jail, got out the next day, but he stayed there for a while, but they took his weed and stuff and his gun. That's what I know that happened back then. I don't know anything else.
Did you ever see his gun?
No, I did not.
So Jonathan took a gun to a pawn shop here in El Paso and told the people that he was dead. Yeah.
Everything Kaitlyn just described painted Jonathan as her protector, the caring boyfriend who made sure she ate, who was there when no one else was. But here's what she left out. Jonathan Jones is 33 years old, she's 17, and within weeks of their first meeting, Jonathan was arrested in Wood County, Ohio, and charged with kidnapping and crimes against a child. That child was Kaitlyn Coones. But while Kaitlyn was sharing her story at El Paso, Jonathan was in another interview room. After initially hesitating, he decided to talk, and his story was completely different.
I was trying to cover for Kaitlyn by telling you I didn't know about my mom. Okay. So the day that Kaitlyn came up to Toledo, I almost said up here again, even though I'm from not.
I understand the language, I use it the same way.
It's
Up
force
here,
of
down
habit.
there.
It's force of habit.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm just from here, so.
Right. It must be an Ohio thing.
It probably is.
Okay, so the day that Kaitlyn came up, she did not come directly to my house.
Okay.
We met at that Sean's Irish Tavern, which is maybe a 5-minute walk. No more than 10, because I didn't finish a cigarette on the walk up there.
Okay.
So after she came up, we met at the tavern, or bar, or whatever you want to call it. We ate, and then we walked around and just chatted, get caught up from not seeing each other for about 5 or 6 months.
Now, wait, did you guys chat while you were in prison or not?
No.
No, or not prison, jail?
No,
Okay.
we did not.
All right.
The only person I talked to was my mom, who did talk to her for like the first 2/3 of my incarceration, not even,
Okay.
before Kaitlyn
Yeah,
ran away again. But that's like how I was getting information from
Gotcha.
Kaitlyn and everything was through my mom. Anyway, so we're walking around, Kaitlyn and I are talking about, how we're happy to finally be back together. We're holding hands, being all kissy and huggy and whatnot. We walked to Myers to, what did we look for at Myers? Okay, this is going to be a little gross, and I do apologize in advance to you.
It's okay.
We walked up to Myers so I could get some hemorrhoid cream and ointments and stuff, because she's a bitch. Sorry for being disgusting, I do apologize.
Believe me, I have heard way worse, so.
I guess I can kind of believe that, because I can imagine.
We're not going to go down this road, but if you knew the type of cases she works, you're not going to offend her, trust me.
Not at all.
Can I ask?
No, we'll talk about that.
Okay. I was to say, you piqued my interest. So we're walking around. Kaitlyn and I are trying to figure out how we're going to be together and everything. We end up going back to my mom's and my house after midnight. My mom was asleep, so they didn't have to deal with each other, and my mom didn't know Kaitlyn was going to be up here. Oh, sorry, in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. I got it now.
So we go back to the house. Kaitlyn and I hang out in my room. We cuddle and fell asleep. Wake up the next morning. I go out to have a cigarette, come back in, go back into my room, hang out with Kaitlyn for a minute, go out to the kitchen or dining room area, hang out with my mom, smoke a joint with her. She's like, oh, I'm about to go to the dispensary, blah, 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 blah. Do you want anything? It's like, oh, the only thing I want is a cart if you can get it. And, and she's like, all right, well, I'll get ready and go. I'm like, okay. Well, I went back into my room, grabbed my cigarettes, and I was going to go out for another cigarette. Well, when I come back in, firstly, when I'm outside, I hear something. I don't know exactly what it was, but definitely sounded like a voice struggling.
The voice struggling?
Yeah, like somebody getting hit or something. It just, through the door and everything, it just sounded like you can't really tell exactly what they were saying or anything. So I heard them finish my cigarette and went in. When I went in, I'm not going to forget this scene because there was a lot of blood. Kaitlyn went and I guess, I don't know when, my mom was getting ready to walk out the door or what, she was in the kitchen and there was just blood everywhere. I don't know if Kaitlyn stabbed her or hit her over the head with something. And I immediately went into shock and just so much blood. I don't know exactly what else she did. I confronted her about it, and she's like, I had to do it so we could be together. Well,
and where are you guys at when this conversation's happening?
Just outside of the kitchen. She has blood on her. I stepped in some because of how I got everywhere, so I had a little bit on my socks. Just from the splatter getting everywhere. I don't know, like I said, if she stabbed her, cut her, or what, but there was blood all over the kitchen.
Did you, no, go ahead.
No, ask your question.
No, I don't know, go
sit down at the kitchen table and I'm looking at her and I'm like, what did you do? And she straight up told me she stopped her from being in the way of us being together.
So, we want to help you, right? And we recognize that there's something and that you don't want to like that. And we want to do what we can help you, right? I mean, that's really honest. He really did that? You went to like, can't you brush up here? Take them out. Well, I'll give you a chance. When you need to talk. Why you would have done that? I mean, you probably would have, like, I don't know anything. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know there was a gun. I didn't know his mom said it. I don't know what this person said. It wasn't true. You want to help. All. Just want to help you. So she said, you guys find the body? No, I'm being serious. I don't know how. That's just what I'm asking. Did you guys find the body? You just told me that. You were looking. That would be her. Or she. I think she deserves to be in the problem, right? I didn't shoot it, so I don't know about that. I didn't know she said really when you left the house and everything, she was fine. Like she was literally laying in bed on her phone. She's not missing them. I don't know. She can't be dead. Why? Because she was fine with us. People die from all the time. People get hurt.
2 interrogation rooms. 2 completely different stories. One of them is lying, or both are lying, but investigators have something that doesn't lie: evidence. Now the agents are done being gentle. They're about to show Kaitlyn exactly what they know, and her response will tell them everything.
It was only. I told him that I had 5 hours. I ran away from an independent living house and I told him he had 5 hours. You know, to kill her, and he told me that he couldn't do it because I was his mom. And so he wouldn't do it. So I strangled her out and I took her off and beat her head a whole bunch of times. And then I told him about it and he was shocked. So then I let him give him a moment, he threw up, and we went to go get cleaning supplies that I cashed out and stuff. And then we cleaned up the body, cleaned up everything in the house. We disposed her body in a trash dumpster, and he couldn't do it, so I, was the one that put the body in the trash. And then after that, we took his ankle thing off of him, we went off. And most of the way, he was really struggling with it because it was his mom, and he beat it. And then that's the reason why, there was no money in the car when they tried to enter him. Why did you like her? Because she didn't like you, but and you loved him. Took a lot of courage for you to tell us that. Okay. I also killed another person in Arizona in a drive-by. I don't know who it was. Also committed 2 arsons in Arizona and Illinois. That was I, loaded the gun and stuff and shot the person, and I left real fast. And then after that, I walked off the wrist and put the gun out of it. That's when I was I don't know that. I just remember pulling up the gun out of the window and shooting. With a male, woman, old, young. I think it was a woman. Do you remember how old she was? She looked old and she had glasses. She was 5.
did you see her fall to the ground? No. Are you sure that they hit her?
I was so quick to get out of there because of the lunch.
2 weeks later, after being extradited back to Ohio, Kaitlyn sat down with prosecutors and detectives for a formal interview. This time, she had an attorney present. And this time, her story had changed completely.
I'm Erin Kennedy, I'm the prosecutor on this case. My understanding is you want to speak with us today. Is that correct? Okay, and you've waived your right to remain silent. You're here with your attorney, correct? Have you read this proffer agreement?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so if any part of what is not truthful is said here today, we can completely disregard this agreement. You still want to speak with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is for you. This is your chance to help yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell your side of the story. I know you've already made statements before. So what I want you to do is just start, tell it from the beginning to the end. Don't leave anything out. I'd ask for you to be truthful. I don't want to be pulling things out of you. This is your chance to help you, okay?
You want to speak loud enough for the... Yep. Because this is being recorded, okay?
So I'm probably going to let Detective Albright take the lead on this. I'll have some specific things, but like I said, I want to hear what happened. I want you to be truthful, and I've got some specific things I'll come back with, okay?
Okay. We've met before. I'm Detective Albright, and I want to kind of look at, I'm going to follow the timeline of what we know happened in all this, okay? And some of this has been found through, physical evidence investigation and by your own admissions. So we'll kind of keep it to this for the major outline, and then if you have any details you want to add or any specific things we want to know about, we'll work that out. So, Jonathan Jones, what relationship did you have with Jonathan?
I don't know what to say about that type of relationship. I would say, at first, it was just a friend, then boyfriend, but then, just a manipulator.
Okay.
He just abused me and stuff like that. So I don't know what you would call that.
Okay. In what way did he abuse you or manipulate you?
He raped me multiple times and stuff like that.
Okay. Did you ever have a consensual relationship with him?
For a minute, yes, we did.
Okay. And at some point, you leave there.
Right.
And make your way to Sylvania, to Jonathan's house. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. How did you get to Jonathan?
So he arranged for me. I guess this is what I figured out. So he basically, he was sending pictures of me that he already had from all the way back from Wood County case or whatever. He was sending a whole bunch of bad, inappropriate pictures or whatever to this person, and was saying oh, she will do stuff for you to get her right down here or whatever. But I didn't know that. So whenever I got in contact with the person, I'm like, well, I'm at the time 17 or whatever. I was like, and I'm not really trying to do that stuff or whatever. I'm like, can I just get a free ride without having to do anything or whatever? So the person comes, and halfway through the ride or whatever, we had to end up doing stuff because that's what Jonathan, promised him or whatever. And that's when I ended up getting, it was Chauvin's Tavern or something like that. That's where the car ended up at, was Chauvin's Tavern. And after I got out of the car, I went into Chauvin's Tavern. Well, before we went in there, we hugged and stuff, and we were like, I miss you and stuff. And after that, we went into Chauvin's Tavern, and we sat down, and we were just talking about everything that happened, him being locked up, and what happened with me. I showed him my scar and stuff and told him that I was in a car accident again or whatever, just basically repeating everything. And then after that, that's when, he was like, well, we have to stay out or whatever until my mom goes to sleep. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm not about to stay out until your mom goes to sleep. But mind you, we started smoking, drinking or whatever, and so basically he had alcohol already on him and then weed already on him, but we started smoking and drinking or whatever, and we're just walking around going places. We went to this one abandoned house that they were redoing that was near the house or whatever, and he tried to mess with me. I was like, no.
and stuff. And like I kept telling him, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to the house. I'm not going to the house. Like if she don't know that I'm there, then I don't feel comfortable. I'm already on the run. That makes me feel paranoid that I have to go into her house and her not know that I'm there. And so then at some point, I guess that we ended up at the house or whatever. And next thing I know is that I wake up.
All right. How'd you get in the house?
I don't remember.
Okay. Where were you staying while you were in the house?
In his room, it's like this. So the door right here, then right here, then right, the bathroom's right here, the door's right there. That's his room.
Okay.
And then like whenever I was staying in his room though, like when I woke up or whatever, he blocked it off or whatever. But I guess you're gonna ask me more questions. But that's when I woke up and I'm like.
What do you mean by blocked it off?
Like he had like his dresser, not dresser, but like the tent, he had 10 foils in there. So like back whenever I was living with him, he kept his clothes and stuff into the not foils things, the bin things, and he had the bin things back up against the door or whatever. And like that's how it was when I woke up, and I was just like, and then like he was right there, and I'm like, and I told him, I was like, what's happening? He talked about, whisper. No, I'm not whispering. What's happening? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I text on my phone, I'm like, you're going to tell her that I'm here or whatever. I was like, I'm going to give you 5 hours to tell her that I'm here or else I'm leaving. I have other guys that would happily take me. And then that's when I went back to sleep. Not sleep, like I laid down or whatever. I don't want to mess up my words. I was going back to sleep. And then like 30 minutes to like an hour, that's when I hear, babe, babe, babe. And I'm like, I don't even know if I should get up. It's like that gut feel, like you just know something went wrong. So I slowly get up and I walk out of the room, and then I walk this way. And I'm looking everywhere. Then I walk in and I look this way, and there she is on the ground. There's a rock by him.
Who's she?
You said who's she?
Yeah. Nicole, his mother. Okay, go ahead.
There she is on the ground. He has his hands on her neck. And he's asking me to help him. He's like, babe, can you please help me? And I'm like, no. And then that's when I went to the couch and I lay down. And then I didn't even know what to do with myself. I literally kept saying, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then next thing I know, he picks up the rock, is banging her head more, and I'm like, no, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then after that, or whatever, after that happened, he told me we had to go to the store. And I went with him. I went to the store. He got cleaning supplies and a whole bunch of stuff. And we went back to the house or whatever. And then after that happened, he cleaned up the mess on the ground. He moved her body into turned her over or whatever. And then after that happened, he ended up packing up everything. He moved the body into the car. I helped him carry the body to the car. And then after that happened, he drove. And then he ended up cutting off his ankle monitor. Oh, no. I guess he had it on. I thought he cut it off before, but he drove to this apartment place. And he got out of the car. I got out of the car. And mind you, the body didn't feel the same the time that it felt whenever I was at the garbage can or whatever. Before, it was it wasn't as heavy, then it was heavy as soon as we got to the apartment place. And then after that, I helped him carry the body and dump it in the dumpster. And then after that, he cut his ankle monitor off. And then he fled, basically. That's what happened.
The prosecutor had heard enough. He laid out the evidence methodically, GPS data placing Jonathan at the house during the murder, physical evidence matching Kaitlyn's original confession, surveillance video of them shopping after disposing of the body, ATM footage of them withdrawing Nicole's money, text messages bragging about the murder to Michael Smith. And here's what Kaitlyn didn't know. Michael Smith wasn't a cartel recruiter. He was an informant working directly with law enforcement. Under Ohio's complicity statute, it doesn't matter who physically struck the fatal blows. If two people plan a murder together, both are equally guilty.
But with the rack and the strangling, everything you told, your first statements to people, whether it be on Facebook, text messaging, or in the interview, You gave a very specific statement. I want to know how you came up with that statement. If you're telling me it was what
Well, I walked in on him strangling her, so I put that together. Then I knew about the rock. I put that together, and then the blood blush, and I was up close, and I saw that for myself.
The what?
The bloody blush and stuff all over for the brain matter.
Okay. All right. When you guys fled, because I mean, it just, what you're saying is completely opposite to what we have in regards to cold hard facts. So that's why I'm trying to reconcile it. Because what you're saying right now is not what we would have to prove the case. Okay, so.
I don't know if I could talk to Jonathan and nobody, like, just be like recorded or something, and I get him in a room and we talk about it or something. I can bring it up and something. He would say it, that's the thing, he would admit to it, but you guys, I don't think that's even there's no possible, that's not never ever gonna happen, you're never gonna get his admission, he's gonna blame it on me, and I'm okay with that, sadly, I'm okay with spending my life in prison.
But did he tell you, you had some time to come up with the story, right, or a plan, because you all fled and were gone for some time.
No, we never talked about it, I just said, I promise you, I'll take the fall for you, I promise I love you.
Kaitlyn, you spent how many days with this man?
I promise you, I literally told him I was gonna take the fall because I love him.
You never had a conversation. Okay, so that's the problem is your testimony, the statement is real helpful to me, but only if it's true. And when there's just things that make no God-given sense, that's where I'm kind of like, this is over. I mean, you don't know what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, remember when I said to you, did you and Jonathan ever, like, as you're driving along, come up with this idea that
that's the thing we
and you kept saying to me, no, I just told him from the very beginning. So so explain that. I'd like to know that too. Explain what was in your mind as you were telling him, I'm going to take the fall.
Like, whenever I was thinking I just think about how it happened. That's really why I think that my mind wouldn't let me stay awake, because I really did think about how it happened and stuff, and I did piece this. Like, I was trying to tell my other attorney, like, when you see somebody stabbed 3 times, and you see a knife on the ground by the body, and they're stabbed 3 times, and you're not the killer, you put 2 together, the person was stabbed 3 times with that knife. That's how I see it as. That's how I literally put 2 and 2 together. I knew he hit her in the head with the rock or whatever. There was literally stuff on her head whenever I walked in, blood and stuff on the ground. And then he had his hands on her neck, so I knew that he was strangling her. And then on top of that, I knew exactly what he bought and stuff because I was there, and I just put it together, and I just wanted to make it sound like I did it too.
So let me ask you this. What do you think you were getting out of it from Jonathan by telling him, just on your own, saying to him directly, I'm going to take the fall? What was in your mind about what were you going to get from Jonathan for that statement?
Like an eternal promise of my love. Like, I've never done anything like that for anybody. I always lie to people and stuff like that, but I don't know, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I promised him because, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. I promised him that I would take the fall because, I don't know. It's hard for me to make sense, but I said it in the moment, though. I was like, I'm going to take the fall for you. I'm going to take the fall for you. Okay. Because I knew that they were looking for us. Because, mind you, I'm the one sending out the stuff, so I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. It's like I kind of set myself up in a way. Like, I wanted to be, like, painted as this monster. Like, I don't like myself. I think that's the thing, too. I wanted to be painted as a monster because that's how I feel. I don't know.
It's okay. I can understand that. Okay, but
yeah.
I'm trying to make sense of it.
You know, one of the things that I like to do in an investigation is look into the past history of a person to kind of see maybe why they are the way they are as a person. Okay, it helps give me some insight. So there is basically a timeline of your life, okay? And some of the horrific things that you have been subjected to, okay? No one should have to endure these things that you've endured. But we also know that when people are subjected to things like that, that it affects them mentally and causes them to become a certain type of person. So looking at yours, I mean, anyone that looks at that would say, wow, I can understand why they would hurt somebody else.
But that's the thing, I don't want to hurt nobody else. I don't ever want that. Like,
So-
and the thing is Jonathan's the only person that's sticking around. He's the only one that's messed up just like how I messed up. And when I mean that, I mean, like, I have a history of saying I'm going to kill myself if someone tries to leave me. I have a history of being aggressive and stuff like that, but his is more fucked up than mine. That's the thing. But I love him.
So here's the thing. So we look at his history. He graduates high school. He goes in the military. He serves his country. Comes home. No criminal record to speak of. 0. Okay. Fairly normal formative years, growing up, until he gets with you, and then these things start to happen. So it's just hard for me to believe that someone like you who's been through so much, and we can understand why it might make you prone to doing certain things, how you could be a little bit more likely to commit a crime of violence than Jonathan. Okay, it seems to me that if I were to look at both of your life histories and somebody were to say to me, which one do you think is a sociopath or a narcissist or whatever, it's not going to be Jonathan, okay? And I'm sorry that these things have made you this way.
I'm not like that. You should have been.
But it's we can't allow you to keep manipulating, okay? And that's been
I'm not manipulating. He's the one that did it. You're not listening. I'm trying to tell you for her sake. I did to her body, but I'm not the one that killed her. And only Nicole would know that. Please, Nicole. I'm sorry. If her body was found, you would see his fingerprints on her and everything, but no. You know they wouldn't talk to me because they said they knew he's the one that did it. Then why am I still here? Why am I still alive? Why? Fuck my life, right? I didn't do it. I'm trying to be honest for once.
Just take a moment. You can take a deep breath. Take a couple deep breaths.
I wonder if we should just call it now for the mental health assessment to be done on that.
You want to be finished speaking for today, Kaitlyn?
No, I want you guys to understand. I want you to see. I don't know what I need to do. I just want you to see. I was scared of him too. Please don't let him get away with it.
So let me ask you this: when you said I'm scared of him too, what causes you to say that?
Because I seen him do it. I seen him kill her, and nobody's listening.
We're listening. We're listening.
No, because I'm painted that way. I have a bad history, so it's obviously me. It's not fair. Good people can have bad things be evil.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, this guy could be a good guy, but be raping somebody, but nobody would ever believe that because didn't murder nobody. I'm telling you,
You're good. You're good.
No. I didn't kill nobody and still, at the end of the day, they think that I might as well be the one, right? I might as well just say I did it. Throw my life away. That's why I keep thinking.
It's, to us, I mean, you gave a lot of very explicit details about how this was done. And those aren't generally the details that someone provides after they walk in and witness a traumatic situation. Generally, people forget things, okay? But you remembered so much that you gave explicit details when you were interviewed.
I have PTSD because of it.
So your recollection was very clear
I was
then.
up close to it, like.
So.
All right, they're gonna run you back, okay? Have a good cry.
No, I feel like my whole life is fine.
Well, it's not. It's not, but I'm gonna tell you something, and I know Aaron will agree. You helped clear up a few things that I think Autumn and I can have a guy with Aaron, and I think we're, let's put it this way, you didn't hurt yourself, okay? And there's one or two things that I think we can have a conversation about.
I didn't do it. I wanted to know.
Remember what I said to you. It doesn't matter who hit her in the head, okay? I believe you, but the whole totality of everything puts you into the liability issue. So let me do that.
I want to know what's gonna happen. I want to know.
We will know that probably pretty soon.
What's
But
gonna happen?
well, first off, we're gonna get the psychologist talking to you, okay? All right, and then the attorneys are gonna talk. There are a lot of legal things here to work through, and we'll get to a resolution that the state and we can feel comfortable with and take it from there, okay?
On June 4, 2024, both Kaitlyn Coones and Jonathan Jones were charged with aggravated murder, felonious assault, aggravated burglary, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. So what really happened on April 19, 2023, in that kitchen in Sylvania, Ohio? The GPS ankle monitor places Jonathan at the house during the entire time of the murder. He never left. The physical evidence matches Kaitlyn's original confession to the FBI. Blood spatter in the kitchen, exactly where she described. The timeline matches her story. Cleaning supplies purchased from Lowe's at 5:20 p.m. Returned to Sean's Tavern at 6:36 p.m. Body disposal at 12:17 a.m. Who struck the fatal blows? We may never know with absolute certainty.
Are you pretty close to her, Nikki? I'm somewhat decent. She doesn't like me just because of my age and everything, but like, she's okay with us being together, obviously, but like, you know, she's like, I wasn't much your age. She's like, she's like, I will treat you how like my mom treated me. And this and that. I was like,
So, hang on, I'm very intrigued by Superman.
Yeah.
Did she actually think, in your opinion,
I don't know. I don't know anything. I just know that she told me she was dating Superman and she has plans. That's all I know.
Interesting. Okay. Did you ever meet her boyfriend?
She told me that her one husband, like cheated on her, moved on, and she died. And that's all I know about that.
Is that Jonathan's dad?
No, Jonathan's dad. Jonathan says he doesn't know his dad.
Did you ever live with them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How did she treat you?
She treated me well.
Yeah.
Nicole Jones was 53 years old when she died. She struggled with health issues, including an eating disorder that had affected her for years. Those who knew her described her as generous, sometimes too generous for her own good. She'd help anyone who needed it, even when she could barely help herself. The woman who opened her home to her son, who struggled but tried, who hurt but loved, she lies somewhere in a landfill, buried under garbage, never to be found. The health risks to search personnel from exposure to decomposing waste were significant, and the cost of excavating that much landfill material, over $500,000. They decided not to search the landfill. There's no grave for Nicole Jones. She deserved to be remembered not as a murder victim, but as a person, a mother, a sister, a friend.